Wabash Carnegie Public Library Oral History Program, interviewing Jack Holmes at 285 South Cass Street, Wabash, Indiana, Wednesday afternoon, March 19th, 1975. Okay, we'll just start off, and you start telling me the information that we had discussed previously, Jack, and then I'll put it on the tape here.
But I was born out here in Rose Heights, and my grandfather was Jack Dunphy. He was, at one time, he was the oldest man in Wabash for a long while. His farm home was out where they built the new fire station on Wabash Street. He worked for Jim Ross. Jim Ross was the county clerk at that time. And my grandfather took care of the Jersey cattle for Ross. And he farmed all of Ross Heights at that time. And I was born out there in Ross Heights.
Date.
I went to school at the Miami building. Went down there 8 years.
Let me ask you, when were you born? Day and date?
16th of October.
Year?
I'd have to figure that up. I'll be 82 in October this year.
Okay. Okay, tell me about your grandparents and your parents and...
Well, my granddad worked on that farm out there, and then, for years he lived there on North Wabash Street. And
what did your father do?
my father was a painter, but in the summertime he was the boss painter on the Wabash Railroad, and in the wintertime he done the gold leaf painting on old Ben Wallace's circus wagons at Peru. His brother was a head carpenter for old Ben Wallace. And Uncle Charlie fell off that Miami County lumber yard, and that's where he was killed. There where they've got the circus headquarters now. And my great-grandfather was buried over around Benneswich. And we went down there this summer and saw the graves where my grandfather was buried.
Do you remember your grandparents? Do you remember your grandfather?
My grandfather out here, yeah. He lived to be pretty near 100 years old. Mm-hmm. My mother was 95 years old when she died.
What do you remember, any stories that your mother told you of her childhood? Do you remember any stories? How she got to this part of the country, or how they got here? Or any stories that were handed down through the family?
No, they just was born and raised here.
Yeah. But they didn't say how their grandparents or anything like that? They never told you any stories about those? Yeah. Okay, now tell me about yourself then, about going to school and who you...
I went to school up here till I was 8 years old, or till I was graduated out of the 8th grade.
That was Miami school?
Yeah. And then, short time after that, well, really before that, we went to Kokomo. We lived over there a year till my father died over there. And then my mother brought the four boys and a girl, brought us back in a little old spring wagon. There's an old man over there, Dick, that's my older brother, worked for this old man Bordoff, and drove liver wagon for him. And this old man let my mother have the horse and wagon. She brought us kids. She loaded everything on that little spring wagon and brought us kids all back home with us. Brought our goat and our clothes and everything with us. We made it back from Kokomo in 2 weeks, or 2 days. And while on the way over, I got in a big storm. And we stayed under a tree till, it's awful lightning and everything. And I remember that tree yet when I go past there. It was on south of where the airport is. And we come on into Peru and stayed in Peru that night. And then the next day we come as far as Boyd Park and stayed at my aunt's. We stayed there that night, the next day. And the next day we come on to Wabash. My mother raised us kids on up. And as soon as we got big enough, we started to work and helping. And I worked up here by where this cafeteria is in a livery barn for an old man named Bill Miller. I took our horses and doctor's horses and stuff. I had 13 horses that we kept there all the time. I took care of the horses days and nights. And we had these doctor's horses that we'd have to take out of the night whenever the doctors had to go someplace. And Doc Hauser lived up here on Miami Street. I used to get up and he lived right there where Nixon's house is there on the west side of Miami Street. And old Doc Brady had an old horse that he called Dick. That I had to take him up on Wabash Street. He lived up there pretty near by the church there at Stitch Street. And then after that, I went to driving delivery wagon. I worked for a delivery company. I worked for Jim Beck about 16 years. He had a store up here where Hipkins is now. I've got pictures of them horses. And Beck lived at that time up there on the corner of Miami and Maple. Oh, there where that house is that I think Reddick lives there. And then finally Beck moved from up there at the old place where Hipkin was. He moved down there to the old FM Beck building where they just moved that furniture store out of. Beck had that double store there then for a number of years. Then after that, I quit there and went to work for the express company. We had horses then. And I drove a big old gray horse that we called him Silver. He'd been here on the streets for years. That's about the only kind of work that I ever done was public work. Till then I went to the Army. I was going to the Army a year. And when I come back, I went back to work for Beck's. Then in later years, I've got horses of my own. I had teams here. I had teams here on the street. I plowed pretty near all the old bases. At them times, everybody had a Gordon. And I teamed here for the old foundry, and I done teamwork all over town. And after that, I delivered ice for about 22 years.
Horse and buggy?
Hmm?
Horse again? Horse and buggy?
Yeah, I started delivering ice with with horses in the country even.
Uh-huh.
I had two teams work, one team in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Because you had to drive fast then.
So the ice wouldn't melt.
And then it melted. And, oh, we used to have 8 down here at the delivery company. There's eight kids, and then eight drivers, and then we always have to have what was called a rough man. They had to run the packages, part of it. They had to help hold the horses. But, they have so many accidents now, but they used to. I've had horse races around the square up here. Whenever it come time to go out on the last trip at 5 o'clock of an evening, there was a horse race around the square to see who could get up the hill first. I had 28 places that we delivered for 8 wagons.
Who were they?
Huh?
Who were they? Who were the 28 businesses you
The
delivered?
stores,
Yes.
oh, there's McNarney Brothers. Old George Lumley was up on the hill, and McNarney Brothers, and Son Armour and Myers Meat Market, and old Dan Lutz's Meat Market. That was up there where John Richards' old place is. And there's Thompson Wright's. I was right in there just about where you guys' place is. And there's Beck's and Riley's drugstore and old Joe Ranchberg's grocery up here where old Catty Corner Road, Max Gentry's, there where Max Gentry is, and Bateman Wolf's. And they went clear on up to Frigiera's grocery up there on the top of the hill.
How did that system work? How did it work? They would sell the groceries, or they would call their order in, and then you would deliver them and collect the money, or how did you work this business?
Oh, it was a company that owned the horses there at the delivery company,
Right.
and each week they paid into that company so much. Instead of one man having all them wagons, well, they had a company that done it. Goldie Small, he used to be one of the bosses up here, Small Brothers. That was right up here on the corner. And we got $9 a week then, and we never figured to get any payday. We never had no payday coming.
Why?
Well, it was so far long between that we just spent the CODs. That's what we got our money.
Yeah.
And then when payday come, well, they'd take that money and they'd go back and pay the places where we'd collected the money. Them times they didn't kick on all this monkey business. But us drivers, when it wasn't too cold, we used to sleep down there in the hay mow. We stayed there at the barn about 2/3 the time. We didn't. It's too far to go home. And I remember we used to go up here at the theater about every night the picture show.
That was silent movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did they have vaudeville in those days also? Did they have vaudeville or live dancing and acts?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember some of the shows that were outstanding, or?
Oh, that's been a long time ago. I remember some of them as far as that's concerned.
Tell me about the horses. What kind of care did the horses have, and how did they buy their horses from someone? And
Well, the delivery company, and Beck did too. They bought horses, and then
From whom? From whom?
about any place.
Uh-huh.
They done a lot of horse trading. There used to be a lot of horse traders come over here from Marion, and they kept enough horses that we could trade off so that there's lots of them wear out.
Were these good horses, or were they just?
We had good horses. We had a lot of good horses. We had a lot of them that wouldn't hardly carry the harness. But we got lots of mean horses.
Who kept the wagons and the harnesses in repair? Who did that work?
They had blacksmith shops there then. Old Dan Albert had a blacksmith shop down here on the corner of Water Street, and then there was old Dan Donovan. He had a blacksmith shop. That was one of the big jobs, is keep the horses shod. And,
would you have to take the horses to the blacksmith shop, or?
Oh yeah, we had to.
You had to take care of that yourself.
We had to take care of all the horses and stuff. Oh, when I worked up at the Becks, we had Beck always kept good horses, and we took care of our own horses. You had to take care of your own horses, but they kept them good feed and everything.
Good.
They had plenty of feed for them.
Yeah, fine. Let's stop a minute and I'll check the tape. Well, why don't you tell me about this Rock City feed and boarding stable? It says tie-in 10 cents. What does that mean?
Well, when farmers would come to town, they'd drive in this door, and it was a long building. And I was old, of course there's posts, but then there's places they could pull their buggies in, and they'd tie their horses in there. And sometimes they'd stay till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But it'd just cost them 10 cents. And some of them would bring their feed for their horses, and some of them would use our feed from there at the barn. But that's what that was for. They'd tie the horses, and then we kept our horses and wagons on back east of the barn. It run pretty near the Wabash Street.
Now this barn that we're looking at now is where the Denny Motor Company is located now?
Yeah.
At the corner of Water Street between...
Water Street and Miami Street.
Yeah, between Wabash and Miami Street.
And this door is here on Miami Street.
That was the entrance on Miami Street. Yeah, okay. Now I notice also that there is a Dr. C.S. Is that Hess or Ness?
Yeah, Hess, old Doc.
No,
Doc Hess was a veterinary. He had an office here.
Yeah.
Of course, he took care of our horses too when they had to doctor them, but we had to help him.
Yeah, tell me about him, what you remember.
Oh, he's a real small-like fella. He used to live up on St. Clair Street. And he took care of animals all over the country. I remember he had a little old red Buick automobile. And when he'd have a job out in the country and some of us boys could go with him to help him, like vaccinating dogs and stuff like that, he'd take us with him. Of course, we like to go for the ride in that automobile. There wasn't many automobiles there. But then after Doc Hess died, then there was a Doc Sailors here, and a Doc Malk. And
that's all of them operated out of this building then? All
Yeah,
those
they-
veterinarians operated out of the building?
well, this Doc Sailors, he was there a while, and then he had a big office, and he had one of the first veterinary offices where they took care of, brought stuff in there, like they do the dogs now. But he was right down there in the old Tom Elber building.
Uh-huh.
That's right over here by the Farm Bureau.
Now, tell me about these wagons. Are they all the same? Are all these delivery wagons the same?
Well, they was pretty near all the same.
Now, they all had single hitch?
No, there was a lot of them single, and then there's a lot of them double.
Uh-huh. Do you remember some of the people that were in this picture here that
remember
we're
all
looking
of
at?
This is Dick Purdy.
Uh-huh.
The last that I heard of him, I met him when I was driving semi-truck. I met him in Indianapolis. He had that big beer distributing company down there.
Mm-hmm.
And out here, where he is right here, he just looks like a great big kid.
Uh-huh.
But down there, when he come up to me, down there in Indianapolis, oh, he had prospered, boy. He looked like a millionaire.
Uh-huh.
And I guess he was up in the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dick Purdy. This one here is Preston Hutchins. Now that Hutchins is, his wife is the one that was driving that car the other day when that woman got killed.
Mm-hmm. Is he still living?
Huh?
Is he still
Oh, no,
living?
he's dead.
He's dead.
Now his son works down there at the Farm Bureau.
Uh-huh.
Down there at the
Down at the
there at
lumberyard?
the main store.
Main store?
This is Raymond Corney. He's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
That was Forrest Spice's and Jim Butler. Well, Forrest Spice was brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
His father was the old Al Corney that used to run the barber shop down on Falls Avenue. That's his brother. And there's me.
Now, how old were you when that picture was taken?
Oh, I must have been around 16.
Mm-hmm. So it's quite a long while ago.
That's been a long time ago.
Okay.
This is the team that I had.
What were the horses' names for your team? Do you remember?
On my team, yeah, Grace and Bill.
Grace and Bill?
Now this Grace, we always called her the Slimmer mare.
Mm-hmm.
Slimmer Brothers had her on a tin shop wagon before they got her. Jim Beck got her. Then this little horse, he was a little western horse, bought him from old Ed Bridges up there. Old Ed Bridges lived up there on Ewing Street. They shipped in a carload of them horses, and we got this horse. This big old gray horse, her name was Nell, and old Oscar Snarr drove her.
Who are these right here?
These here,
No, these two people right here. It seems like a...
why, Ralph Army, that used to be an Army Brothers grocery store.
Mhm.
That's Ralph.
Mhm.
And Ralph is dead, but Frankie's still working out here for Clark.
Right. Is this Frank right here? Is that
No,
Frank?
that's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Frank ain't here. Frank worked up there for next door. I knew him up there. I worked with him when he couldn't carry a pack of potatoes.
Yeah.
He was that little.
And who are the other people there?
That's old Oscar Snarr. That's Harley Garner. He's dead. That was his stepson. And that's Dick. That's my brother. That's Richard's dad. And this is that must be Gerald, my youngest brother, the one that died that used to live. He was a night watch at the straw board for years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Herman Rumpf and Augie Rumpf.
What were they doing down there?
Well, they were driving. They were driving on them wagons.
Herman and Augie were?
Huh?
Herman and Augie were driving?
Yeah. Well, Herman was driving and Augie was helping him.
Was that place cold in the wintertime?
Oh, colder.
I noticed a chimney back there. Was that in the veterinarian's office?
That's
Or?
the veterinarian's.
Okay, now we go to a 1928 picture here, and tell me about this.
Well, I don't know so much about this. This is after they sold these horses all off and quit there.
Mm-hmm.
Then they sold that livery company to this Circle.
Mm-hmm.
And Dick worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, I was working for Beck.
It looks like Ford or Chevrolets.
I think there was Fords.
Uh-huh. Well, what did you do after the horse went out? After the horse went...
After I did,
Yeah, what did you do?
well then I teamed for myself.
Mhm.
I worked for Beck, and then I worked for the Express Company. And then I went to the Army. And then when I come back, I worked for Beck just about a year.
Mhm.
And I was crippled up pretty bad. I got a horse and went to work for myself.
Tell me about your Army experience, World War I. Were you drafted and so forth?
I was drafted, but I wouldn't have had to went because I had papers made up that I wouldn't have had to went, but Dick was already went.
Mhm.
So I wanted to go too, and I didn't send my papers in. I just ditched them, and then I went to the Army. And I wasn't in the Army, but about 4 months and a half, I was on the front line.
Mhm.
I just went right on through, and I was on the front line for, well, when the armistice was assigned, I wasn't a half mile from the German front line.
Mhm.
I'd been up there for, long time. Then I made that hike up into Germany.
Uh-huh.
It's about 500 miles we walked. I was in Germany all winter, and then we started from up there in March. Long in May I got home.
What did you do when you came home then?
I worked for the Express Company. I see we used to get our job back when we come back. But old Bud Cowell, he had took my job, or got my job, while I was going. And I'd do him for a long time, and I didn't want to make him get off the job, but they took me back to the Express Company. And I didn't like it too good. And Beck kept wanting me to come back and work for him all the time. And so I went back to work for Beck, and I worked for Beck about pretty near a year. He had automobiles then.
I think it's about time to change the tape here. Let me... do you have any other unusual Army experiences about going overseas or anything like that?
Oh yes, I was sick when I was going from Newport News to the coast. I got ptomaine poison. And of course, when we only got up there long in the afternoon, and they issued stuff all night. Then they loaded us on the boat the next day, and I was sick then for about 14, 15 days and nights. They found me. I fell out of bed on the floor, and they found me. I was about dead when they found me. I had this ptomaine poison. Then I got seasick right away, and we had a big storm on the ocean. That lasted for quite a while. Then there was some of our boats in our convoy was blowed up on the way over.
What outfit were you in? What outfit?
I went over with the 89th, but after I got over, I was in the 32nd Division,
Infantry?
infantry.
Yeah. Was there anyone else here from Wabash?
Oh yeah, I went with Guy Ridenauer from here, and then I knew all of them, but there was some guys from Manchester that I was with when I went over.
Yeah.
And there was a Draper, Wilbur Draper from here, and Guy Ridenauer, and there was a Miley, and Johnny Middleton from Manchester, and Hayes Lotzenheiser from Manchester.
How many started and how many were left in 1918
in his company.
in your company?
On the 9th of October, there was 69 of us left out of 250.
What happened to the rest of them?
I was where that heavy fighting was,
In what area?
Huh?
What place?
up there at Montfaucon.
Were you wounded?
Huh?
Were you wounded or gassed?
I was gassed awful bad, and then I was shot through the back on my back.
Your mother was still living then during World War I, wasn't
Oh, yeah.
she? Yeah. When?
And they say that she never went to bed every night while we was going.
Well, that showed her concern.
Huh?
That showed her concern and love for children. Tell me how come. I always thought that these stables. We're going to go to another subject. I always thought that there were some black men there working in the stables in those days. Were there any at this?
Well, no niggers there.
None? They didn't do that type of work then?
There was. Dick did have one little nigger kid went with him. He called him. I forget what that nigger's name was. But we used to have so many kicking horses.
Yeah.
And Dick was driving a little mare named Rabbit. She was just a little bitty, but boy, she could really kick. I remember she kicked that nigger on the leg. His legs was bleeding all over.
I'm going to ask you some other questions. In the mid-1920s, 1920s now, this would be after World War I, what do you remember of the Ku Klux Klan here in Wabash?
Well, I remembered all right.
Did you join?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Who induced you? Who told you to join? Or
Well, Beck, I was working for Beck at the time, and I didn't think too much of it. That's what broke Beck up.
why?
Was that, well, he had an awful lot of Catholic business, and he got radical on it.
Oh, really?
He said that he didn't want a Catholic to buy nothing from him, and he didn't do this and he didn't that, and it wasn't very long till that's what broke the horse's back.
Did you go to any of the meetings and so forth?
Very few.
How did you? Did he suggested that you joined and you paid him, and then that's the way it went, or?
He didn't pay him.
Oh, he did the paying also.
Huh?
Did all of you belong? Did all the drivers belong?
Oh, it wasn't this whole bunch.
Not everybody.
It was a bunch that he had at his store.
Yeah.
But it even broke he had clerks and stuff that had been there for years, and it just broke everything apart.
Huh.
I don't know whether you ever know Swats Horner or not. And old Albert Nader, and John Grossenbacher, and this Cotton Army, he was working there. And, back at that time, he had all that Big Four trade. That's when the old Big Four used to be here, you know. And that was over old Carl Hopp and Oh, Carl Hopp, you know, that ran that coal yard. He was
He had different ideas.
Huh?
He had different ideas. But this was afterwards, wasn't it? Or was he active in that group too? Was this later that he got involved with the Ku Klux Klan, or at the same time?
Well, at that time, I remember they had a parade, the only parade that I was ever in with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we went up past his house, and they was going to go up there, and he was hidden in the house. They was going to go in there and get him.
Now this was a Ku Klux Klan parade? Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Well, they claimed he'd done something. A lot of it, actually, I didn't understand. I wasn't too... I didn't understand too much of it.
Mm-hmm. Were you glad to get out of it then? Were you glad to get out of the Ku Klux Klan when it all...
I did get out of it.
You did get out? Yeah.
I just quit it right then. I never went anymore.
Yeah.
They never made no threats or nothing.
Mm-hmm. You just decided to get out, huh?
I told them that I didn't believe in it.
Yeah. Huh. How about the Depression? How about the Depression of the 1930s, 1929 on? What do you remember of the Depression?
Well, that's when they had that WPA.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough.
Did you have a job? Did you have a job?
I had, at that time, I was living ice for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the year after that I was married my second wife.
Uh-huh.
My first wife died.
Uh-huh.
And we lived down Miami County then.
Uh-huh.
And you couldn't buy a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got on that WPA down there.
In Miami County? Yeah.
I was on that for about 4 months.
Uh-huh.
They asked me when I first went in.
Mm-hmm.
The old boss come up the road and asked me, he says, how long are you going to stay on this job? Just till it gets warm enough I can start selling ice. He says, that's just what I thought. He says, I didn't think that you was going to stay on it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that I'd get a worse job than I had over that. But
What did you have to do?
nothing.
Nothing? Yeah.
He put me on the boss, and
Yeah.
Then he gave me 2 or 3 guys to help me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest. I'm afraid they're going to have some of that again.
Yeah, possibly. In other words, the ice wagon would only run in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
In the wintertime, you had nothing to do.
Well, yes, I had things to do, but after I went down there in the country,
Uh-huh.
we just cut wood and things like that to keep us going because you couldn't buy a job no place.
Yeah. How did you get your job on the WPA?
We had to go through had to be on the welfare, and I wasn't welfare then. It was you had to go through the trustee and get a grocery order. And then at that time, there's a couple of us went to the trustee, and he had us to work on his place and digging ditches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then ditching, he gave us $2 a day.
Mm-hmm. That was good money.
Huh?
$2 was good money.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But it was so darn long before you got it.
Uh-huh.
And there was 9 of us in the family.
Uh-huh.
But,
How long did you work on the WPA?
about 4 months,
4 months.
right in the wintertime.
That was better. It was a way to stay alive then.
Huh?
That was a way to stay alive.
I was waiting to have them kids something to eat.
Yeah. Tell me about getting married. About your wife, your first wife.
Oh, my first wife.
Where did you meet her, and how did you meet her? And
Oh, she was up here to her cousins, and I met her, and then I went with her years. Up in her 2 years.
Mhm.
And then I went to the Army. when I went to the Army on Saturday, before I went to the Army on Monday, we had talked about getting married before I went, and I don't know how it come up, but we went to find out about if I could make any allotment or anything. And they said I could if we was married. So we just got married on Saturday, and I went to the Army on Monday. And
What was her name, her maiden name?
Josephine Chambers.
Okay.
She was from Erie.
Erie?
And I made out allotment.
Yeah.
And she got the money and saved it, and then she had money to buy furniture and things.
When you
I
got
come
home?
back.
Yeah. Did you have children by your first wife?
Yeah, I had 4.
4 children. And their names and...
Their names?
Yes.
Well, Laureen Burke. I was my oldest daughter. And then the old one, Doe, that used to be down there at the lumberyard. And Ed, he's the one that dropped that out the Ford meter box. And Bess lives in Mansfield, Ohio.
Okay. Now, you had 4 children and then your wife died?
Mm-hmm.
When did she die?
Well, it was about 41 years ago. My first wife died.
41 years ago, that'd be 1933, somewhere around 1933? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, and then you remarried?
I got about 2 years afterwards. I was remarried. And my second wife died. We was married about 38 years.
Yeah. How did you meet your second wife?
Well, she had been a friend of my first wife when they was kids, but I never knew her then.
Yeah.
I met her down in Peru, and we just started going together.
Yeah.
She had a bunch of kids too, and her husband had died about the same time. Well, he died before my wife died. And
Did you and your second wife have children then of your own?
no,
No children of your own.
no, we just put the two bunches of kids together.
Yeah.
Of course, part of her kids was married and had kids,
Yeah.
but she still had 5 kids at home.
How did this work out, this arrangement?
All right.
Were
So
you...
we raised the other. She had 5 and I had 4. That made 9, and they were just like twins.
This was all during the Depression that this went on, 30s, 1930s?
No, it got better after. It was during the Depression when we got married.
Yeah.
But I always had worked and had things pretty good. I could always make money.
Where did you, tell me about the ice route. Where did you get the ice and...
Well, in the first place, when I first started delivering ice, I bought it down here from L.M. Russell. And then I kept working it up. I had routes, it was about 15 miles north and south. I had out from the Huntington County line to 31 in Miami County when I quit. When I quit the ice route, I had 7 trucks on the road. But, when I had 7 kids in the Army for the Second War, I didn't have help. That's the reason I had quit the ice routes.
Well, how was it when you were just running the ice with horses? You couldn't go very far, could you, with a horse and buggy?
Oh, I went clear past Rich Valley.
Oh, did you, with a horse and buggy?
Yeah.
What would you cover the ice with in those days? Straw or canvas or...
Heavy tarpaulins.
Yeah. Did you ever buy ice out of natural supply, like a lake or something like that, where a guy would?
No.
You always got it from the manufactured ice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got it from Peru and Wabash and Marion.
Then what did you do after you decided to get out of the ice business? What did you do?
After I got out of the ice business, I went to work down there for the Farm Bureau.
Mhm.
And I worked there for a little better than 20 years.
Well, how old were you when you retired then?
Huh?
How old were you when you retired? What age?
65.
65. And then what did you do? And then what did you do when you retired? Did you just...
Well, I bought a little farm up there north of Grove.
Mhm.
Swapped horses.
Yeah. After you retired?
And before.
And before?
This.
Yeah.
I got my first horse when I was 9 years old.
Mhm.
And this is the longest, this winter is the longest that I've been without a horse since then. I think I had 6 horses I give away last fall. And they're good horses. There's mares and colts.
I see Burr Maple tells me that he had a lot to do with training horses and breaking horses. Did you know him?
Yeah, me and him's old buddies.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. But he has a lot of affection for horses, and
Oh, yeah.
And obviously you do too, that were quite a part of your life. Maybe you should have been a cowboy.
Huh?
Maybe you should have been a cowboy.
I don't know.
Well, how has it been since you've retired? How is retirement?
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
But, oh, I don't know. I spent a lot of time up to Veterans Hospital up Fort Wayne.
For what? Why?
I got arthritis of the spine.
Do you?
And I was driving, I don't know whether it's from driving the truck or for,
Maybe it's your age.
well, might have been. But that's something to do with it.
Yeah. You enjoying life at 82? Do you
Oh,
enjoy?
yes.
Yeah. Don't get lonesome?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
If you were going to start all over again, would you have done anything differently? If you were going to start all over again?
If I was, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, if they could just start over, and how much different they'd do. I wouldn't say that I would do any different. I might do a lot worse than I have.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that I've done a lot of things that wasn't right, but I might have done a lot worse.
Do you remember the first telephone that you saw? Or used?
Oh, it's been a long time.
Do you remember when electricity came to your house?
Oh, yeah.
What was that, a big occasion, or
Huh?
was that a big event in the family?
Oh, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. Do you remember radio?
Yeah.
You remember the first radio? Anything outstanding or anything?
Oh, I kind of had doubts about it at first.
Why?
Well, I couldn't understand it like
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah. Do you remember the first automobile you saw? Or the first one you rode in?
Oh, I don't know about that. That automobile, I told you that old Doc Hess had.
That was the first one you rode in?
Well, I wouldn't say that it was the first one, but it was be one of the first ones.
Do you remember television? Was that a big event when it came along?
Yeah, it pretty much so.
Do you still read a lot? Read the paper? Or?
I do, but maybe I hadn't ought to on account of my eyes.
Anything else that you can think of that we should put on the tape?
Oh, not right now, what I know of.
Probably after I leave, you'll think of 50 things.
Huh?
After I leave, you'll probably think of something, and we can always fill in later. Can you think of anything we've missed or that we should have on it?
Well, the name of his second wife.
Yes, your second wife. We didn't get her maiden name.
Edith.
Edith.
Edith. Her name was Heilman. That was her married name.
Mhm.
But her father's name was Zook.
Zook.
Sam Zook.
Yeah.
Years ago, there's a big door fell on him down here to B. Waters and Company. He lived over on the south side.
I'll be darned. Well, I think this. Go ahead.
He does know the names of the horses which pulled the wagons for the fire company.
Oh yeah. How about the horses that pulled the fire engines and
Oh, I knew them old horses, and
why? How? How did you know them? I mean.
I was a kid here all my life. You
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
I just growed up that way.
Yeah.
Old Chris Hip he owned them gray horses in the first place. He owned them and he drove them. Of course, I don't know anything about how it happened or anything, or whether he's contracted or what. But I do remember the two gray horses. And then they had a fire one time, and one of these horses fell when they come down the hill at night. And the one horse got killed. And do you remember the fire horses?
No.
You never saw them?
I'm not that old. I'm just a
Well, I
child
remember
compared to you.
when it was in the paper here the other day about the places up there where the fire horses was.
Yes, I do.
I've seen them horses come out, get under them collars and stuff. The noon. And this one gray horse got killed, and then they bought this big old brown horse. He wasn't an old horse, he was a good horse. They was good horses. And the gray one was Dan, and the other one was Muggins.
Muggins?
Muggins was the brown horse's name.
Uh-huh.
George Harold used to drive him. He lived down on West Maple Street.
Uh-huh.
I remember at one time old Jake Bagley used to drive him. They used to take him out of a morning and they'd run him. They'd ride one horse, lead the other, and they'd run him for exercise.
But these horses, you assume or you thought the horses belonged to this Mr. Hip, and he sort of like leased them to the city or something.
They belonged to Hip in the first place, and but afterwards the city must have bought them.
Were you ever in the fire station when they would get a fire call with the horses?
Oh yeah, I've seen them go out.
How would they hook them up, or where were the horses as compared to the fire engine? How did they do it? How did they get the horses all harnessed up and everything?
Well, they hung the harness up. The harness was hanging up. They were fastened right to the single trees.
Mhm.
The collars would hang up here, and they had just halters on them horses, and the bits was hanging on snaps. And when the horses come out, them horses know to get up again them collars, and they just snap them. It didn't take long to hitch up.
Yeah, that's the way they did it then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take them too long.
No, they could have them hitch the wagon in a minute.
Yeah. Well, that sounds very interesting about the way they did that on those fire engines and horses in those days. Must have been a lot of excitement around for a young man and watching the horses and.
Well, I was just went in with it.
Can you think of anything else we should talk about?
One of his relatives helped build the stonework at the courthouse.
The stonework at the courthouse. You had a relative that did some of the stonework at the courthouse.
No, my granddad, that I told you about in the first place,
Mhm.
he had an old bay horse named Jim, and he pulled the bricks up to build that courthouse.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Do you remember the horse?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the courthouse was built long before you came along. It was,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they used horses a lot for that type of work in those days. They used horses for
Oh,
that type of.
that's all that had to work with.
Well, I think if we can think of anything else, well, we can always add it later. If we can think of something. But I want to thank you for this afternoon's interview, and I'm sure that it'll be most interesting. And we'll type up a copy and we'll send it to you and have you read it over and correct it and give us some of the proper names and so forth.
Of course, I didn't realize anything about what you'd want or anything.
Yeah, well,
I never had nothing like this before. I
Yeah.
never did.
Well, this is just off the top of your head, and that's what makes it good. Yeah.
I have a lot of times. I started to write some stories. I was going to send them into, like to a magazine or something.
Uh-huh.
I've started to do that several times and then just throwed it up and never done it.
Yeah. Well, you have it all typed for you now. It'll all be typed for you.
But, I've had a lot of, I've traded horses and things like that, and then I would have material if I could think of it and do it quick enough that would make a lot of nice stories that people now wouldn't know what good times was.
Yeah, that's true.
I went out to horse trader camps and stuff that when you sit and read some of these, I read several of these cowboy stories and stuff, and I can pretty near live it.
What were these horse trader camps? What were they, these camps?
Oh, they'd camp out along the road and then they'd drive in with a buggy and get somebody that's interested in trading horses. You'd go out and look over their stock that they had.
Just like a traveling used car lot, then.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Now a lot of the old horse traders, until they've died off. Well, they was horse traders.